This guy's famous for escaping North Korea not once but twice. And he's posted a video where he has a tier list of escaping North Korea. One of the most difficult parts. This dude is genuinely very funny, very charming. And, dude, I'm going to click this. I'll give it a like before I've even seen it, man. You should too. And I'd love to see that with you, man. But I'd love to hear your take on it. I don't know. What do you imagine, though? Because you can escape North Korea through two ways, I believe. You can go through the mountains and desert in Mongolia, or you can go through the DMZ, which means crossing a minefield, which means, well, for my part, man, I'd rather brave the desert, man. Would you guys do the minefield or the desert? That guy was amazing in Hangover. I don't think he had a role in Hangover. I don't think he did, man. For my part, I think the most difficult part is the escape itself, and I think it's evading the police afterwards, because like most people escape to China, and in China you're not allowed to aid North Koreans. It's 4 ways to escape North Korea. All right, what are the other ways though? I'm curious. Fill in my blanks here. I'm going to just start rolling this dude anyway and see what he has to say.
Hi everyone, my name is Charles and I escaped North Korea twice, and today we're going to be ranking hardest parts about escaping North Korea. So it's from like S is the hardest. And
Dude, I love this. This is the nerdiest thing ever, to make a tier list. That's what you expect in like 7 Days to Die or Hell Divers. You'll see these rankings. Cross out but escaping North Korea. I love this. We've gamified it. We've nerdified it. Let's see what he has to say. Hold on. The DMC through Mongolia/China. The C in the 4th is death. Okay, the C. But you can't really escape from the C. I'm sure someone's done it. Though. But let's hear. Yeah, this is the leading expert. Done it twice.
D is not that hardest. And here's the first one. Learning you can escape. So
Okay, learning you can escape. How would you, as an outsider, rank this? I would rank this as one of the hardest things to do. So that would be like, is it A tier to learn you can escape? Because if you escape from North Korea, like, they're going to off your family. Or at least put them into a labor camp or some such. And I don't know, if you grow up your whole life, like, you get free school in North Korea, but that whole school is about teaching you how cool Kim Jong-il is, the supreme ruler who butchers teenagers for watching Squid Game. So I'm going to rank that as an A. Where do you guys put that? I'm ranking it at an S tier, guys. It's the hardest thing you can do.
I think the hardest part about escaping North Korea is knowing that you can escape North Korea. Most people really don't know the option to escape North Korea. It's only the people who are living in the border town. And that's why so many people who escapes North Korea are from the border town, like Cheongjin, Haesan, Namyang, and all those parts. The only reason why I found out I could escape was because my father was Chinese, because I was living in deeper inside of North Korea. I was living in Sariwon. My dad was in North Korea for the first 5 years of my life, but he left me and my mother and he left to China and he didn't come back.
He bailed on him. I'm so irritating person that North Korea exiled me. Exiled you and sent you straight into my chat, posse. And if you escape, you doob your family and 5 generations further. It gets into jail time. Yeah, I've heard something like that, man. 5 generations? I don't think you'll survive 5 generations if you get that sort of damnation on you, though.
My dad sent my half-brother to bring me to China. If you were to ask people who escaped North Korea, how did you know that the world out there is better than North Korea? I am sure 99% of them will tell you that, oh, I've watched some sort of foreign media, right, in North Korea. That actually plays a critical role because that helps them to fantasize about the life outside of North Korea. It's extremely
Yeah,
illegal
but
to watch foreign media
but
that are not
that was gonna be one question I would have though. Like, how do you figure out that you can escape? And like all your life living in North Korea, you hear the propaganda, like you're already living in the best country in the world, and everything else sucks. And they're all demons and PDF files everywhere else, and we have the mightiest military in the world, and Kim Jong Il is such a good leader. How do you even figure it out? Calamity Gaming and Recreation. Even North Korea exiled us. Hey, you know what? It was well deserved.
not approved by North Korean regime. When I was in North Korea, the punishment of watching foreign media varies depending on who you watched with, right? So if you were to watch just with your family, then it could be 6 months of jail or 6 months of
6 months of jail for watching Love Island or some shit like that, guys. I mean, it's pretty damning evidence if you're sitting at home watching Love Island with your family, but
labor re-educational camp. But if you were to watch with multiple different people, then that would be 4 years of prison camp because you are influencing or brainwashing more people. Extreme case would be public execution for just watching South Korean dramas. But
yeah, that happened to some teenagers who got a hold of Squid Game. Dude, imagine that. And there's like, what really triggers me? I saw this wench, this horrible human waste of a woman. She has a whole YouTube page dedicated to defending North Korea and telling everyone how fantastic it actually is. But it's like, I don't see anyone immigrating to North Korea, and it's not because they won't allow it. It's because no one's dumb enough to go there. Really. I would rather be in jail. Dude, it is worth the risk to leave, man. That's from an outsider's perspective, I think it's worth the risk to leave. Don't you would put your D in that, bossy. He's been dead for the last 15 years. Kim Jong Il. Hey, if he gets you out of North Korea, then to watch Love Island, I mean. Oh yeah, fair. Me too, man. Me too. I'd watch Squid Game though. Squid Game's amazing. Problem is, gets you killed.
I personally never seen public execution because that person watched South Korean dramas, but it does happen. But now Kim Jong-un came up with new law that if you were to watch not just South Korean drama, but if you were to listen to South Korean music or South Korean radio, it is punishable by death. Not
I'm giving you this. And you all know that's the South Korean heart, right?
just you, but entire 3 generations of your family. So he's much more stricter than his father was, which is Kim Jong-il. I would rank that to S tier. It's because not a lot of people knows that they have the option to escape North Korea. If they did know, then there comes the second hardest part, reaching the border.
Reaching the border, yeah. No, I don't think anything tops learning how to escape. I know that in North Korea, you don't travel freely. I'm gonna put that as like A tier to in terms of difficulty level to reach the border, whichever border that may be, man. You said through the sea was an option, Serpix. Hold on. I'm curious about this. Maps.google.com. North Korea. Let's see how that looks. Okay. Escaping through the sea? Dude, no one does that. Really? Can they maybe get through the river here? Is that like swimmable?
Because in North Korea, there are no freedom of movement. There are checkpoints on all major roads, guards waiting.
Have you heard of boats? I've heard of boats. But I don't know. I might be wrong. I just don't picture them as that available. And like I don't there's so many guards along the waterfront and all the border posts. I don't see it, especially with like the Chinese are more or less the right hand man of North Korea, right? And they're patrolling the seas. If they see a boat they're not supposed to see, like, do people really escape there? I mean, trust but verify. I'm skeptical to what you're saying there. You ain't getting on a guarded boat. No. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't see a sea escape happening. Maybe I'm wrong though.
For you with AK-47 and they ask you to present traveling documents, you have to go to a local government and ask them, hey, I am going to go to this town, and you have to give them the reason, because like my family is dying and I'll come back within certain days. You have to give them bribes too to make the process faster. That's just going from one town to another.
Yeah, you just have to bribe your way around going one town to another. Serpic says because there's no underground movement in South Korea that goes in and picks people up. Is that a thing though? Is that a thing? Do they like have let's call them South Korean fishermen that pick up North Koreans? I've never heard of that. There might be though, but I'm not the expert here on escaping North Korea. That's why we have this wonderful man right here talking us through it.
But imagine going to the border town. That's even way stricter because you can escape. Because I didn't have traveling documents and tickets, I had to play hide and seek with police officers on the train, which was
at least no ads in Craigslist. So this is already turning into like a spy movie where you have to play hide and seek with guards on a train.
Going to the border town, I would have to climb out of the bathroom window and basically hang on the side of the train, or sometimes hide on the roof of the train, or hide the hitch between the two cars. And if I were to get caught, I would have been sent to labor camp. If it was in America, it probably would have taken less than 12 hours to travel to where I was going. But because there were a lot of power outages, I was hiding from the guards 2 days on a train. So it traveled during the day, it traveled.
Imagine that, man. You're stuck 2 days on a fucking train, climbing out of bathroom windows, trying to avoid getting caught. Oh, that sounds so rough, man. Like, at what point do you give up? At what point do you figure out that I can't do this? I'm curious. Like, I don't think everyone's tough enough to do it, even though they have the idea of doing it.
During the night, it would travel for maybe like an hour, and it would stop for multiple hours, and it would just go really, really slow. So I would rank that A tier. No, I would actually rank that to S tier, because it's even harder than learning escaping North Korea, because how strict North Korean regime is with people traveling. I would actually personally move down to finding out how you can escape, or knowing you can escape North Korea, to A tier.
Okay, so he D-ranked it. Leaving your family behind, though, that's one I rank pretty high, because they'll, I don't know, either kill your family or send them to a labor camp if you actually do manage to escape, which I do find. I mean, that was hard, guys. Do you agree with that one? Like, you can't just leave your family behind. Like, maybe if you have like a shit family you don't even like, let's face it, not everyone's close to their family, right? But there's a limit to how conscienceless I can be. I wonder where it puts not get shot. Dude, North Korean soldiers, though, they don't eat, they don't sleep, they don't get training, they don't get anything. I think that'll be the easiest thing in the world. I don't think they couldn't hit the barn from the inside of the barn. But yeah, leaving your family behind, I don't know. That was very circumstantial, though. For me, it would be an impossibility to leave my family behind. So that would be beyond S tier. IRL stormtroopers, yeah. They don't even miss their own dads, they miss everything.
For me personally, it wasn't so hard for me to leave my family behind because I really didn't have immediate family, right? But I know for a fact, for a lot of different defectors, leaving their family behind is a big factor, and that's why they don't want to escape, or even some people, when they come to South Korea, they even want to go back to North Korea because of the family that they have left behind.
Yeah, I can empathize with that. If you leave if they don't get shot, and I don't know. I guess that imagine trying to adopt to a life in a normal setting like South Korea, or China or something like that, and like this is all you've ever known, and you've left your family behind. I can imagine that. I don't think I don't know. What am I talking about? I don't know diddly shit. I just love this guy's stories, man.
Also discourages them from sharing their stories or even speaking against the regime, because the family that are left behind will be persecuted by the North Korean regime. I'm going to be putting this on the B tier because I personally don't have immediate family that I left behind. Swimming the river.
Swimming the river. I didn't know that was an option. I saw that on the map though. Like where are you swimming this river? I mean, I'm a decent swimmer, guys. I'm not swimming any. Don't get me wrong. I'm not doing any marathons here. I could swim this river. Yeah, I could do that easy. That wouldn't be a challenge. The problem, though, would be swim the river and not get shot. I guess if we add that into the mix, it would be a whole different scenario.
I would say this was easy. All I had to do was both times get in the cold water for 5 minutes, and voila, I was on the other side of the border. The swim actually wasn't like that long. It was probably less than 5 minutes. I picked up
Really?
part
where Okay. Yeah, I get that. See, I was right. That's twice I'm right.
it was relatively narrower. The worst thing was that the current was really, really fast, and I basically couldn't swim. I had to literally walk. If I were to lift my feet off of the ground, then I would just have been just swept away. I'm going to put this
Wait, it's so shallow that you can walk.
On a D tier. Next up on the list,
Walking the
not
river.
alerting the guards.
Yeah. That would be a different challenge, though, because this is Kim Jong-il's fortress is one of the most guarded places on the face of the earth, and the same with the border. I don't know, I think there's border guards every so and so many meters patrolling. And I'm guessing, they're soldiers. They're probably not going to let anyone just slip through the net. Got so many swimming knappar that would be easy PC, dude. That would be my escape too. I didn't know about the river escape though. I didn't know that was an option till we saw that earlier.
Seems so easy, but also at the same time, it was really hard because while the guard is watching, you can walk into the river and do your daily chores, right? It was not too bad, I would say, because all I had to do was carry a bucket. I walked down the river. I pretended that I was trying to get the water, and then when the guard wasn't looking, I just ditched the bucket, and then I hid under the tall grass for many hours. I could not move a muscle because if I do...
Oh my lord. Imagine sitting in the tall grass, and it's probably a freezing cold river. I don't know. Is it warm over there? I don't think it's particularly warm. All the pictures I've seen are gray. So, that must suck.
Then the grass would move, and that means the guards would check it out, so it was not as hard as any other parts of escaping North Korea. So I would probably put this on the C tier. All right.
C tier.
Not getting shot, I would say.
That would be the easiest part. 100%. Honestly, how much faith do you have in North Korean soldiers and their training? Not to mention them being fed. And them being in any sort of health whatsoever, man. I would say that would be the easiest bit. I picture them like stormtroopers, Like about as useful as the asshole that I have right here. That's what I'm picturing. What do you guys picture? Let's see the thing.
I heard, probably in Thailand, from different North Korean defectors that North Korean soldiers could not shoot the person while they're in the river, because like the river is in neither of the country, therefore it's an international border and they can't shoot. As well as they cannot shoot you when they're in China, because if you would miss.
Yeah, imagine the geopolitical crisis if you were to accidentally shoot someone in China. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a North Korean soldier. Basically, yeah, absolutely, 100%.
That person, and then the bullet lands in China, that's like a war. I'm not really sure how accurate that was. When I was escaping for the second time, when, in the river, I slipped on a rock.
How did he get to escape a second time, though? I hope he'll get to it. I haven't heard his escape story before, but a second time?
And I let out a gas, and then the guard found me, and he said that he was gonna shoot me if I didn't turn back. He was like, "야, 개새끼야, 안 들어와. 안 들어오면 쏜다." When people think about North Korea, they usually think of nuclear warheads, authoritarianism, and the heartless dictator. I'm making contents because I want everybody to think of North Korean people. They are ordinary people who don't know how much better life could be. If you want to help me be a voice for voiceless North Koreans, I would love for you to support me on Patreon, where you can get early access to full-length videos, all sorts of fun pictures, outtakes.
If anyone deserves it, though, it's him. I'll tell you that much. If there's anyone who deserves Patreon supportage, it's him.
And other exclusive videos. Thank you, and I hope to see you there. And he said that he was gonna shoot me.
I really hope he
if
succeeds in his mission.
He was like, "야, 개새끼야, 안 들어와. 안 들어오면 쏜다." But at that point, like I knew I was dead either way. Either I would obey and return to the shore, only to be shipped off to the labor camp, and basically starve to death, or you shoot me here, right? And
a bullet sounds better, If the stormtrooper can hit you. At this point, he's just doing it for the love of the game. It's kind of a hobby, escaping North Korea. It was a Wednesday. I was bored. I did it.
And I die. Or, if I stop, I would drown, So like, either way, I'm gonna die. So I just waited ahead. I will put this at B tier because I've personally never heard about somebody
I would have said D tier, but I guess he knows better than me.
Getting shot at while escaping through the Yalu River. But there was one guy who escaped North Korea and he got shot like 6 times, right? His friends shot him and he almost lost his life. But he was escaping through the DMZ, not through the Yalu River. Surviving the walk.
Because that would be the craziest way to escape if you ask me. I mean, how many mines, what's the density of mines in the DMZ, the demilitarized zone, between North and South Korea? I don't know, but I don't care to find out either. If there's mines there, I'm pretty much not going. So up until now, I would have thought that, hey, Mongolia is the way to escape. If you've ever seen an interview with Yeon-mi Parks, which you absolutely should, then, Yeon-mi Parks is her name. She has an incredible story about escaping North Korea. And I thought that was hella interesting. You should see Yeon-mi Park's interview with Dr. Jordan Peterson, man. What a story. Now, surviving the walk, though.
I walked 3 days.
Put this on a map for me. Like everyone in China lives about here. The rest of China over here, there's nothing. But this is a densely populated area. Is it though? I don't know. Maybe you're gonna starve for a few days and really rely on nature. Because I don't think the Chinese are supposed to help you if they find a North Korean defector. I'm gonna put this one at like A or S tier. So a high level A tier to survive in the wilderness there. Approximately 2 million landmines scattered across 250 kilometer. Answer, take it for what it is. Okay, fair enough, man. If you're gonna use AI though, if you're actually looking for, there's one AI that's better at facts than all the other AIs combined, and that's Perplexity. Perplexity is not able to hallucinate. So it will never bring you information that is not factual, which I think is incredibly cool. It's I've been using that a lot lately, and like it hasn't missed so far. So Perplexity AI, if you're gonna use it.
Days without a proper meal, without, sleeping that well. And during the 3-day walk, right, I was hungry, I was dehydrated.
3 days.
I was exhausted, and my shoe fell apart and my feet got blisters, and it popped because walking so much, and, it started bleeding. So, and I couldn't.
And probably living in a regime. Oh, what happened there? Living in a regime where you don't have access to information, I don't think there are a lot of people who have a lot of survival skills in the sense of you have to learn to survive in the wilderness. Am I right about that?
Escaping North Korea, like after walking the 3 days, like realizing that I'm gonna die, it's like if I was in North Korea, right? If I was still in North Korea, and if I was still in the coal mine, I would have food in there. And if you're real, please don't let me die like this. I literally started praying. And it popped because walking, right? I was hungry, I was dehydrated, I was exhausted, and my shoe fell apart and my feet got blisters, and it popped because walking so much, and, it started bleeding. So, and I could not walk anymore. And eventually, I collapsed. I literally started praying and to God, if you're up there and if you're real.
Hold on, Corsair says, I don't know. I think these people know what to eat and what to avoid due to the lack of food in North Korea. Yeah, okay, that's a fair point. That's a fair point. I guess you do learn. I guess that in itself, that surviving North Korea is a bushcraft skill, so to speak.
Please don't let me die like this. And please don't let me die like this. Like, I would literally do anything. If you were to save me here, like, I would do anything. Like, I would do anything. But just please don't let me die like this. And I collapsed. And I cried, all those regrets of escaping North Korea. Like, after walking the 3 days, like, realizing that I'm gonna die, it's like, if I was in North Korea, right? If I was still in North Korea, and if I was still in the coal mine, I would have food in my stomach, roof over my head.
Would you, though? Isn't that the whole point? Isn't that the whole point of leaving it? I guess I'll have to take his word for it. Serpix, you're a soldier. What's the longest you've walked? Have you walked for 3 days before?
I would not at least to die like this, right? And thinking about, like, why me? Like, why do I have to suffer this kind of fate? Like middle of nowhere, just about to die. Like, I scream and nobody can hear me. It was very frustrating and very sad. But, after praying, to God that don't let me die like this. A Chinese guy, miraculously, right, shows up, and he...
They're not supposed to do anything with them.
Gives me water, he gives me mantou, it's like a Chinese bread, and asks me, with the Chinese, like, 你从哪里来? Means like, where are you from? And I told him, like, 我是北韩人. 我来北韩 and 我看我爸爸 means
I have no idea what he's saying.
I'm looking for, like, literally 我看 means like I'm looking, right? And I'm looking for my dad.
Hold on. The longest you walked is 19 hours, says Corsair. Shit, that's a lot though. That's 2 shifts and 3 hours of overtime worth of walking, man. That is insane. And what on earth kind of setting was it that you walked for that long?
And I mean, he can clearly tell that I was from North Korea, right? A kid without, shoes that literally fell apart, and clothing that's like what the heck is he wearing, right? And I'm small, I'm skinny. No kid in China looked like that. So he eventually picked me up. He brought me to his house, and he gave me medication for my feet. He gave me food. He let me sleep at his house, right? And the next morning, he connected me to a South Korean missionary.
Dude, that is heartwarming though. It's they're really putting it all on the line to rescue someone you don't know. Like it takes a lot of courage and a lot of heart.
And that person eventually helped me to get to my dad's house. But that is not in a story for all the other North Korean defectors. Like some of them, that's the most critical part, right? Because now you've betrayed your country, literally. You've escaped North Korea, but now, like, what are you gonna do?
Dude, is it possible to betray North Korea? I mean, really, if you look at it, of course, that's what the regime says. But, like, you ask me, you've been abandoned and betrayed since before you were born. I don't know, man. But that's I guess that's just my weird perspective, though.
Right? Do you know somebody? No, you don't. If you don't, you're going to get captured and you're going to be sent back and you're going to go to prison. That's more harder than escape itself, right? Because that's when people give up. They don't know where to go. They're in a country where they don't speak the same language, so...
Kyss mig räva. Kyss mig räva. Jävligt stolt över Finland.
I would rank this at a S tier. The next part is going to be avoiding Chinese police.
That's an A tier. Because here's a weird thing though. Okay, I'm Norwegian, and I guess all white guys look alike, right? But when if you put me in a crowded room full of people of various Nordic heritage, I can tell the difference, guys. It's no problem. I can tell the difference between a Swede, a Dane, a Polish person, and a Finn easily, and I can do that with high precision. And I'm betting any one of you guys from the Nordics, you have the same thing, right? Do you agree on that? So I'm picturing that Chinese policemen would have no problem seeing a North Korean in their midst and easily pick him out. So I'm ranking this S tier, trying to avoid the police. What do you guys think, man? You agree? You agree? Let's see the thing.
Not too bad. All you have to do is lay low. You only go out in the super early in the morning or super late at night. So when I escaped North Korea for the first time, I am really excited. My dad is Chinese. It's gonna be okay, and I would just go out all the time. I would go everywhere, and I'll be going to like PC bang, the internet cafe. I would go to arcade rooms, I would explore. I'm not afraid. Even the police.
Yeah, imagine that. Once you've been locked up in North Korea in a coop, unable to live, eat, or be free, or have choices in anything, and then you suddenly experience freedom coming to China. That would be so exciting, guys. I can't even imagine.
Police finds me, I don't care. My dad is Chinese, but I got captured and I was sent back to North Korea, right? And I've been to North Korean defectors detention center. The second time coming to China, I was terrified of the Chinese police, right? Because if I get captured and sent back to North Korea, this is it for me. But yeah, avoiding Chinese police, it's relatively easy. You just have to lay low, don't dig through the trash. I met this guy in a detention center because he got captured while digging through trash in China. It's like, Chinese people saw that. I was like, oh, that's a North Korean. They called the police, right?
Immediately busted. I guess Chinese people don't dig through trash.
North Korean people dig through the trash, right? But not Chinese people. Like nobody in China does that. But North Korean people do because they're starving, they're hungry, right? And when they come to China, it's like oh my gosh, it's everything. Like they would find like good food in trash can. Avoiding Chinese police, like I will probably put it in a C tier because
All right,
yeah,
a little
it's
easier than I
relatively
thought.
easy. It's just don't go out, that often, and don't do anything will draw attention to you. Learning new language, as you may.
Dude, that's hard, man. Ik spreek Nederlands, maar ik spreek stront Nederlands. En mine venninner med å usar pretense você. Jeg snakker ikke norsk heller. It's hard. How many of you guys have learned a language in your adult life, guys? Have you tried? Or have you succeeded? Fußboden Schleifmaschine verleihen. Yeah, German, man. It's just one word, though. It's not an entire language. Ik heb een part, en ik wil een part en beer bekopen. Ik wil het niet. But no, it's hard to learn a new language and as an adult. So I'm ranking that's A tier. I think that's easier than the physically escaping. It requires your attention, it requires determination, and it requires you trying. So we're ranking this A tier.
See this video, like I speak English somewhat fluently, right? And I've only been here for like 13 years now. And some people actually spend the rest of their life, trying to learn a new language, but they really can't. I guess I'm talented in language-wise. Like and also I try hard. But even North Korean people, when they come to South Korea, they have hard time learning South Korean language. There's different dialects, different tones. North Korea kept it.
If you're Norwegian and going north to south, the dialects there are so different. They're practically different languages, But it's if you're raised here, if you've been around for a little bit, it's easy to understand. But I get what he's saying, though. Absolutely.
It's like the traditional Korean words. I struggled, coming to America for the first maybe 3 to 5 years because I couldn't speak any English, right? But after that, it was a smooth sailing for me personally. I was fascinated by all of this kind of TVs, so many channels that I can watch, and I saw Family Guy, and I tell people that I learned English through watching Family Guy because I really did, it's kids friendly, because it's a cartoon, but as I was watching it, I realized, oh yeah, it's really dark humor, It's not kids show, I'm going to rank this at a C tier.
Oh, not for me, man. Not for me, man. Learning a language is so hard. But I guess, like you said, maybe this man is incredibly intelligent and does have a little talent. Lingual talent. Is that a thing? Can I say that? Lingual talent?
All right, adjusting to the new world.
That's where I know a lot of people fail. And you can try to put yourself in those shoes, if you've moved abroad or to another city and you're starting fresh and you don't know the language, you don't know anything, and you miss your friends, and I'm sure that despite North Korea being an absolute shithole, that there were good times among friends, even in North Korea, the peak of joy for the average man is all that is laughing with your friends, and it doesn't matter where you're laughing. If you're laughing in the penthouse, or if you're rolling around in the mud trying to find food or water, that's a very valuable thing, man. I can imagine adjusting to a new life. I think that's where a lot of people fail, and maybe they go back even. I don't know. Let's see what he has to say. He probably knows a little bit better than me.
Imagine getting into time machine and fast forwarding 50 years into the future. That's how it feels for me to come to America, where I couldn't tell the difference between a computer and a TV. Yes, it was tough. but I did it with excitement, right? Because like everything is new. It's so fun. I enjoyed it. I enjoy the challenge. That's not the case for every other North Korean defectors, right? And especially the older generations. There is a lot of different factors that goes into it, like homesick, right? They left the family behind. Like I really miss them. I want to go back. And second is like learning new culture. I've known decent number of friends who unfortunately taking their own lives, and even some people want to go back to North Korea because.
Dude, imagine that. But I'm not surprised though. I'm in one way I am. Like you're going back to a place where you're more or less a hostage 24/7, but like you left everything you knew.
Of how hard it is to actually adjust to the new world. Imagine you got into a time machine and fast forward it like 50 years into the future, right?
You should be careful now because he might get ice on his ass. Doesn't matter. He's legally in America, which is cool. He's got papers. How would you go about going back to NK? NK? North Korea? Dude. Yeah, how would you go about going back to North Korea? Yeah, that's a very good question, though. How do you do that? I mean, do you just swim back and say, hey, I left a decade ago? Or do you just walk back like... I don't believe they have any form of control. If you, like, properly sneak back in, they won't know you've been gone. They would have no idea.
What type of job would you do? You probably wouldn't know how that world works. You wouldn't know the laws. You might not know how to pay your taxes. It will be really difficult to adjust. Even though personally, I did not have that much of a struggle adjusting to the new world, I know there are a lot of people and a lot of different North Korean defectors who struggles with this. So I'm going to put this on a A tier. People don't believe you. So, I have a funny...
What? Do they not believe that you're North Korean? I guess North Korean escapees aren't that common, though, to be fair.
Story about this. So I was 18 when I started high school, right? In America, people did know that I was from North Korea because my social worker have told the school principals, my teachers and a couple of people, and the word got around, and people usually ask me, like, are you a spy from North Korea? Because I don't know, that was like the general like norms of like, oh, do you know Kung Fu?
Same as me, every time I meet someone who's Russian, I always assume spy. Like, what else could you be,
Do you know Kung Fu? Do you know karate? But nowadays, like that I speak English really well, and now that I, try to raise awareness of what's happening.
Are we not supposed to say that anymore? Are we done saying that? No, I'm doubling down on that one.
In North Korea, like I post my video on TikTok and all other social media platforms, like people don't believe me that I'm from North Korea. People don't believe that I'm from North Korea. They assume that I was born and raised in America. People assume that I got paid by CIA to do propaganda. Like the last thing on your mind while you're escaping North Korea is to actually think about, oh, how am I going to prove to people that I'm actually from North Korea? You don't really think about what proof to bring, right, when your life is on the line. And the Chinese aren't waiting on the border to actually give you some sort of proof that, oh yeah, you are from North Korea.
What would you bring, though? I mean, I don't know if they even have cameras in North Korea, but if I had cameras, I'd bring a picture of my family and friends so I could tell stories while I'm drunk around the campfire, though. But that's about it. I don't think there's a lot to bring from there.
Oh, they would rather capture you and send you back to North Korea, right? So I would probably put this on C tier. And now I'm gonna see if I can change anything here. Learning new language. I'm gonna actually move that up to B tier. A lot of people do struggle like learning new language. Even learning Korean for them, like South Korean, is a challenge, right? So I'm gonna put this one on a B tier. And actually, I'm going to bring down people don't believe you, to D tier.
Yeah, 'cause
because
who gives a
again, like
shit,
that's
right?
out of your control. Thank you so much for watching, you guys. Please let me know how you would rate escaping North Korea. Like, what do you think is the hardest
Like, let you know how I would rate that. Like, you are the
part? If you
boss
don't
of
agree with me,
escaping
please
North
let me know in the
Korea.
comment
My
section.
God.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
Dude, and absolutely though. I mean, Charles North Korea, guys, is charming dude. It's very funny. He makes really good videos. He's got good content. If this is your type of thing, you should definitely take a little look at his page, a little bit of peek.